You know that feeling when you know something is wrong? When every part of your body is screaming at you to run? That's exactly what happened to Sarah on a cold Tuesday night in March. And what she did next, nobody saw coming. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take you back to where it really started. Sarah Mitchell was 32 years old, and if you asked anyone in the small town of Millbrook, Pennsylvania, they'd tell you she was doing her best. That's what people say when someone is barely holding on, right? She's doing her best. Sarah worked the morning shift at Murphy's Diner on Route 15, the kind of place with cracked red leather booths and coffee that tasted like it had been sitting since yesterday. But it was work. It paid some of the bills. Her daughter Emma was 7, big brown eyes, missing front tooth, loved dinosaurs more than princesses. Emma stayed with Sarah's neighbor, Mrs. Chen, after school until Sarah got home around 3. The system worked. Barely, but it worked. On this particular Tuesday, Sarah's shift ended at 2 instead of 3. The owner, Mr. Murphy, told her they were slow and he couldn't afford to keep her the extra hour. Sarah didn't argue. You don't argue when you need the job. She grabbed her coat, the gray one with the broken zipper that she kept meaning to fix, and walked out into the parking lot. March in Pennsylvania is a strange time. Not winter anymore, but not spring either. Everything is gray and wet and cold in a way that gets into your bones. Sarah pulled her coat tight and started walking toward the bus stop. Her car had died 3 weeks ago, and she didn't have the money to fix it yet, so now she took the bus. Added an extra hour to her day, but what choice did she have? The bus stop was 4 blocks away. Sarah walked fast, like she always did. Head down, hands in pockets, thinking about what she'd make Emma for dinner. Maybe spaghetti. Emma loved spaghetti. They had 1 box left in the cabinet. That's when she noticed the car. It was a dark blue sedan, kind of old, with a dent in the front bumper. It was driving really slow next to her, like really slow. Sarah glanced over. She couldn't see the driver clearly through the tinted window, but she could see enough. A man, alone, watching her. Her stomach dropped. She walked faster. The car stayed right next to her. "Hey," a voice called from the car. The window was down now. "Hey, you need a ride?" Sarah didn't look, didn't answer, just kept walking. "Come on, I'm just trying to be nice," the voice said. It was rough, like gravel. "It's cold out." Sarah's heart was pounding now. The bus stop was still 3 blocks away. She could see a few other people on the street, but nobody close, nobody paying attention. I said, "Do you need a ride?" The voice was harder now, angry. Sarah started walking even faster, almost running. The car sped up to match her pace. This was bad. This was really bad. She pulled out her phone with shaking hands. The screen was cracked, had been for months, but it worked. She unlocked it and pulled up Mrs. Chen's number, ready to call, ready to scream if she needed to. The car suddenly jerked to a stop. Sarah heard the door open. She ran, full speed, not looking back, her breath coming in sharp gasps that burned her throat. She heard footsteps behind her, heavy boots on pavement. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. "Where are you going?" the voice yelled behind her. "I just want to talk." Sarah's legs felt like rubber. Her purse bounced against her hip. She dropped her phone and heard it clatter on the sidewalk. But she didn't stop, couldn't stop, just kept running. She saw people on the corner ahead. 3 women standing outside a store. "Help!" Sarah screamed. "Help me!" The women turned and looked at her, looked at the man running behind her. And you know what they did? They went inside the store and locked the door. I'm not making that up. They literally turned around and left her. Sarah felt something break inside her chest. A desperate, horrible feeling of being completely alone. She kept running, turning down Main Street now, her lungs burning, tears streaming down her face. The footsteps behind her were still there, still following, still getting closer. And then she saw it. Rosie's Diner, a little place she'd never been to before, on the edge of downtown. And outside, in the parking lot, there were motorcycles. A lot of motorcycles. Big ones, loud ones, the kind you hear from a mile away, and standing around them were the bikers. 6 or 7 of them, maybe more. Big guys, leather jackets, beards, tattoos running up their arms and necks. One of them was smoking. Another was laughing at something someone said. They looked scary, like the kind of people you cross the street to avoid. Sarah had maybe 3 seconds to make a choice. The man behind her was close, so close she could hear him breathing. The bikers looked dangerous, but the man behind her was dangerous. Sarah made her choice. She ran straight toward the bikers as fast as she could, arms pumping, tears flying off her face, probably looking completely insane. "Help me!" she screamed. "Please! Help me! Please!" The bikers all turned at once. Sarah didn't slow down. She ran right into the middle of them, nearly crashing into a tall guy with a gray beard. And then she spun around, putting the bikers between her and the man chasing her. The man stopped at the edge of the parking lot. He was younger than Sarah thought, maybe early 30s, with short dark hair and a face she'd remember in nightmares. He stood there, breathing hard, staring at her. Then he looked at the bikers. Nobody moved. Nobody said anything for a long moment. Sarah was shaking so hard she thought she might fall down. Her whole body felt like electricity was running through it. The gray-bearded biker she'd almost crashed into looked down at her, then back at the man. "You got a problem?" the biker said. His voice was deep and calm, but there was steel in it. The man on the edge of the parking lot shuffled his feet. "No problem," he said, "just." She dropped something, was trying to give it back. "That true?" the biker asked Sarah. Sarah shook her head so hard it hurt. "No," she whispered. "He followed me. He got out of his car. He chased me." The biker's face changed. It got very still and very cold. "That's so," he said. It wasn't a question. 2 more bikers moved up next to the first one. They didn't say anything. They just stood there, arms crossed, forming a wall between Sarah and the man. The man took a step back. "Look, this is a misunderstanding. I think you should leave," the gray-bearded biker said. "I was just..." Now, the word cracked through the air like a whip. The man's face went red. For a second, Sarah thought he might do something stupid. But then he looked at all the bikers, really looked at them, and whatever he saw made him turn around. He walked back toward his car quickly, trying to look casual but failing. Sarah watched him go, her whole body still shaking, still not believing this was real. The car started. The man sat there for a moment, staring at the diner, at the bikers, at Sarah. Then he drove away. Sarah's legs gave out. She didn't fall because the gray-bearded biker caught her elbow. "Whoa, easy there," he said. "You're okay. You're safe." I can't. Sarah couldn't finish the sentence. Couldn't breathe right. Everything felt wrong and scary and too much. A woman's voice came from somewhere. "Get her inside. She's in shock." Sarah felt hands guiding her, gentle but firm, toward the diner door. Everything felt far away and close at the same time. She heard the bell above the door jingle, smelled coffee and grease. Someone put her in a booth. "Get her water," the woman's voice said, "and call the cops." Sarah looked up. There were faces around her now. The gray-bearded biker, a woman with bright red hair and tattoos covering both arms, a younger guy with kind eyes, more people behind them. "What's your name, honey?" the red-haired woman asked, sitting down across from Sarah. Sarah, she managed to say. Sarah Mitchell. I'm Diane, the woman said. She had a soft voice, which was weird because she looked so tough. This is Marcus. She pointed to the gray-bearded man. You did the right thing running to us. Sarah started crying. She didn't mean to, didn't want to, but she couldn't stop. Everything that just happened crashed over her all at once, and she just cried. Big, ugly, gasping sobs that made her whole body shake. Diane reached across the table and held Sarah's hand. Didn't say anything, just held it. Marcus was on his phone in the corner, talking low and serious. Did you get a license plate? Someone asked. Sarah shook her head. I dropped my phone, she said between sobs. I just ran. That's okay, Diane said. You did exactly right. A waitress brought water. Sarah's hands shook so bad she could barely hold the glass. She took a sip, then another. Cops are on their way, Marcus said, coming back to the booth. He slid in next to Diane. You hurt anywhere? Sarah shook her head. He didn't. He didn't touch me, but he was going to. I know he was going to. I believe you, Marcus said simply. And the way he said it, Sarah knew he really did. The door jingled again. Another biker came in, this one shorter and stockier, with arms like tree trunks. Got the phone, he said, holding up Sarah's cracked phone. Was on the sidewalk 2 blocks over. Sarah felt fresh tears coming. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you so much. The stocky biker just nodded and handed her the phone. We got the plate, someone else said, walking in from outside. This was a tall, skinny biker with a long ponytail. Blue sedan, dent in the front. Got the plate number before he turned off Main. Marcus smiled. It wasn't a nice smile. Good. Real good. Sarah looked around at all these people. These strangers. These scary-looking bikers that everyone in town probably avoided. They had saved her, protected her, and they were still protecting her. Why? Sarah asked suddenly. Why are you helping me? Diane squeezed her hand. Because that's what we do, honey. But people saw. Other people saw him chasing me and they left. They went inside and locked their doors. Marcus's face got hard again. Yeah, well, we ain't other people. Police sirens wailed in the distance, getting closer. Sarah took a shaky breath. She was safe. She was actually safe. But as the sirens got louder and the bikers gathered around, talking in low voices about what they saw and what they'd tell the cops, Sarah felt something else growing in her chest. Fear again. Because she had to give a statement, had to tell her story, had to hope the cops believed her, had to hope they could find that man before. Before what? Before he came back? And that's when the door opened and 2 police officers walked in, and Sarah saw the look on the first officer's face when he saw all the bikers, and she realized something terrible. This wasn't over. Not even close. If you're feeling what Sarah's feeling right now, hit that like button. And please, please subscribe, because what happens next is going to break your heart and put it back together. I promise you. This story goes places you won't expect. The first police officer through the door was young, maybe 25, with red hair and freckles that made him look even younger. His name tag said Cooper. The second officer was older, 40-something, with gray at his temples and tired eyes. His tag said Brennan. Officer Cooper's hand went to his belt when he saw all the bikers. Not to his gun, but close enough. Like he was ready, like he expected trouble. Sarah saw Marcus notice it, saw the way his jaw tightened. We got a call about an assault, Officer Brennan said, his eyes moving from biker to biker, counting them. Someone want to tell me what's going on? No assault, Marcus said, standing up slowly, hands visible. Lady got chased by some creep. We helped her, that's all. Officer Cooper looked at Sarah. Ma'am, are you the one who called? Sarah shook her head. I didn't call. They did, for me. And you are? Sarah Mitchell. I live on Oak Street, number 42. Officer Brennan pulled out a small notebook. Okay, Miss Mitchell, why don't you tell me what happened? Sarah told them, all of it, starting from leaving Murphy's Diner, the car following her, the man getting out, chasing her, the women who locked the door, running to the bikers. Her voice shook the whole time. Diane kept holding her hand under the table. When she finished, Officer Cooper was writing everything down. But Officer Brennan was looking at the bikers with an expression Sarah couldn't quite read. And none of you actually saw this man chase her? Brennan asked. Marcus crossed his arms. We saw her run up terrified. Saw the guy standing at the edge of the lot, staring at her. Saw him leave real quick when we told him to. But you didn't see him chase her. No, Marcus admitted, but we believe her. That's not evidence, Brennan said flatly. Sarah felt something cold sink in her stomach. What? What do you mean? Brennan turned to her. His face wasn't mean, exactly. Just neutral. Like he'd heard 1,000 stories and didn't believe any of them anymore. Miss Mitchell, did this man touch you? No, but did he threaten you verbally? Say he was going to hurt you? He asked if I wanted a ride. And then he got out of his car. And so he offered you a ride and got out of his car. That's not illegal. Sarah felt like she'd been slapped. He chased me. He was going to... You don't know what he was going to do, Brennan interrupted. I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm saying the law requires evidence. Did anyone else see him chase you? Sarah thought about the 3 women, the ones who locked the door. Yes, 3 women. They were on the corner of Main and 5th. Did you get their names? No, I was running for my life. The words came out louder than Sarah meant them to. Harsher. Officer Cooper looked up from his notebook. Diane stood up. She was tall, taller than Sarah realized. Look, officer, this woman was terrified. You can see she's still shaking. Something happened. Something bad. I'm not disputing that, Brennan said. But following someone isn't a crime. Getting out of your car isn't a crime. Unless we have evidence of actual assault, or a credible threat, or... This is bullshit, a voice said from the back. Everyone turned. It was the tall, skinny biker with the ponytail. His name was Tommy. Sarah had heard someone call him that. Tommy, Marcus said, a warning in his voice. But Tommy was angry. You're really gonna stand there and tell this lady that nothing happened? That she should just go home and hope that creep doesn't come back? I'm saying we need evidence to make an arrest, Brennan said, his voice getting harder. We got a plate number, we'll run it. We'll go talk to the guy. But unless Miss Mitchell wants to press charges for something specific, there's not much we can do right now. Press charges for what? Sarah asked. Her voice sounded small. Broken. He didn't touch me. He just scared me, chased me, made me think I was going to. She couldn't finish, couldn't say what she thought was going to happen. Officer Cooper looked uncomfortable. Ma'am, we take these situations seriously. We'll definitely follow up. Talk to the guy, put a scare in him. Let him know he's on our radar. And then what? Diane asked. He knows where she works. Probably followed her from there. What's stopping him from coming back? Nobody had an answer for that. Sarah felt the panic rising again in her chest. This wasn't happening. This couldn't be happening. She did everything right. She ran. She got help. She called the police. And it still wasn't enough. Can I get a restraining order? She asked desperately. Brennan shook his head. You'd need to prove a pattern of harassment or a credible threat. One incident isn't usually enough. One incident, Sarah repeated. One incident where I thought I was going to die. The silence in the diner was thick and heavy. Finally, Marcus spoke. "Officers, you got what you need from us?" Brennan nodded. "For now, we'll be in touch if we need more information." He looked at Sarah. "Miss Mitchell, here's my card. If this guy approaches you again, you call 911 immediately. And try to get somewhere public, somewhere with cameras if possible." Sarah took the card with numb fingers. "Okay, we'll do what we can," Cooper added. He actually sounded like he meant it. The officers left. The bell above the door jingled cheerfully, which felt wrong. Everything felt wrong. Sarah stared at the table, at the water glass with her fingerprints on it, at Diane's hand still holding hers. "I have to pick up my daughter," she said quietly. "Emma, she's at my neighbor's house. She's probably wondering where I am." "Where does your neighbor live?" Marcus asked. "Oak Street. Same as me. Mrs. Chen, number 38. "We'll take you," Diane said. Sarah looked up. "What?" "We'll take you to get your daughter. Make sure you get home safe." "You don't have to." "Yeah," Marcus said. "We do." And the way he said it, Sarah knew there was no point arguing. 10 minutes later, Sarah was sitting on the back of Diane's motorcycle, arms wrapped tight around Diane's waist, terrified for a completely different reason now. She'd never been on a motorcycle before. The helmet felt weird and tight. The engine was so loud. But behind them were 5 more motorcycles. Marcus, Tommy, the stocky guy whose name was Bear, and 2 others Sarah hadn't really met yet. All of them riding together, creating a barrier around Sarah and Diane, protecting her. People on the street stopped and stared as they rode past. 6 motorcycles rolling down Main Street in formation, engines rumbling like thunder. Sarah saw curtains move in windows, saw people point. Let them point, she thought. Let them stare. These people saved me. They pulled up in front of Mrs. Chen's house. Sarah got off the motorcycle on shaky legs and pulled off the helmet. Her hair was a mess. She didn't care. Mrs. Chen opened the door before Sarah even knocked. Emma was right behind her, dinosaur backpack still on. "Mommy!" Emma yelled, running out and hugging Sarah's legs. "You're late! Mrs. Chen said you were late." Sarah knelt down and hugged Emma so tight it probably hurt. "I know, baby. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." Mrs. Chen was staring at the bikers. Her face was a mix of concern and confusion. "Sarah, what's going on? Who are these people?" "They're friends," Sarah said. It felt weird calling them that, but also right. "They helped me today." "Helped you with what?" Sarah looked at Emma, then back at Mrs. Chen. "I'll explain later. Can I just take Emma home now?" Mrs. Chen nodded slowly. "Of course. Emma, do you have all your things?" Emma nodded, clutching her backpack. She was staring at the motorcycles with wide eyes. "Mommy, are those real motorcycles?" "Yeah, baby, they're real." "Are they loud?" Despite everything, Sarah almost smiled. "Very loud." Marcus walked over. He moved slow, careful, like he knew he looked scary and didn't want to frighten Emma. "Hey there, kiddo. You like dinosaurs?" Emma nodded, suddenly shy, half hiding behind Sarah's leg. Marcus pulled something out of his jacket pocket. It was a small rubber T-Rex, the kind you get from a vending machine. "Found this on the ground earlier. You want it?" Emma looked at Sarah for permission. Sarah nodded. Emma took the dinosaur carefully. "Thank you," she whispered. "You're welcome," Marcus said. Then he looked at Sarah. "We're going to follow you home. Make sure everything's okay." "You really don't have to." "Sarah." Marcus's voice was gentle but firm. "That guy knows where you work. Might know where you live. We're following you home." Sarah felt tears threatening again. "Okay." The ride to her apartment was short, just 8 blocks. Emma rode with Sarah on Diane's bike this time, giggling nervously the whole way. Holding on to Sarah, and the little T-Rex like both were lifelines. Sarah's apartment was on the second floor of an old building that had seen better days. The stairs creaked. The hallway smelled like someone's cooking an old carpet, but it was home. It was safe. Or at least, it used to feel safe. Marcus and Diane walked Sarah and Emma upstairs. The other bikers stayed outside, watching the street. "You got good locks on your doors?" Marcus asked, checking the door frame. "Just the regular lock and the chain," Sarah said, unlocking the door. Marcus frowned. "That chain's basically decorative. Wouldn't stop anyone who really wanted in." Sarah's stomach dropped. "Oh. We can fix that," Diane said. "Bear's good with locks. He can come by tomorrow, install a deadbolt. No charge." "I can't ask you to." "You're not asking," Diane said. "We're offering." Emma tugged on Sarah's shirt. "Mommy, I'm hungry." "I know, baby. I'll make dinner in a minute." Marcus was looking around the apartment, at the single couch with the blanket covering the ripped part, at the TV that only worked sometimes, at the pictures on the wall of Emma at different ages, smiling, happy, innocent. "You got a phone charger?" he asked. Sarah nodded and pointed to the outlet by the couch. Marcus pulled out his own phone and started typing. "I'm giving you my number, and Diane's, and the number for the clubhouse. You call any of those numbers, any time, day or night, if you see that guy again, or if you just feel scared. You understand?" Sarah nodded, pulling out her cracked phone. The numbers came through. Sarah saved them immediately. "I'm serious," Marcus said, looking her right in the eyes. 2 a.m, don't care. You call." "Okay," Sarah whispered. "Thank you." Diane hugged her. It was brief but warm. "You're gonna be okay, honey. We got your back now." They left. Sarah locked the door behind them, put the chain on even though it was apparently useless, and stood there for a long moment just breathing. "Mommy?" Emma said from the couch. "What's wrong?" Sarah turned and forced a smile. "Nothing, baby. Nothing's wrong. Let's make that spaghetti, okay?" While the water boiled, while Emma played with her new T-Rex at the kitchen table, while Sarah tried to act normal and okay and fine, she kept looking at the window, at the door, at every shadow that moved. The cops said they'd follow up, said they'd talk to the guy. But Sarah knew how these things worked. She watched the news, read the stories. Women who got stalked, who reported it, who did everything right, and still ended up. She couldn't think about that. Wouldn't think about that. Emma was singing something, some song from school, making her dinosaur dance on the table. Sarah had to protect her, had to keep her safe. That was the only thing that mattered. Her phone buzzed. Sarah almost dropped the pasta spoon. She grabbed the phone with shaking hands. It was a text from an unknown number. Her heart stopped. She opened it. The message said, "Nice friends you got. Won't help you though. See you soon." And attached was a picture. A picture of Sarah's apartment building, taken from across the street, taken 20 minutes ago. He was watching her, right now. Sarah dropped the phone. It clattered on the floor. Emma looked up, concerned. "Mommy?" Sarah ran to the window and looked out, her whole body shaking so hard she could barely stand. There, across the street, parked under a broken streetlight, was a dark blue sedan with a dent in the front bumper. And standing next to it, looking right up at her window, was the man from before. He saw her looking, and he smiled. Then he got in his car and slowly drove away. Sarah's legs gave out for the second time that day. She slid down the wall, gasping, crying, trying not to scream because Emma was right there and she couldn't scare her baby, couldn't let her know how terrified she was. But oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. He knew where she lived. He was watching her, and the police couldn't do anything about it. Sarah's hand found her phone on the floor, found Marcus's number with trembling fingers. She pressed call. He answered on the first ring. "Sarah, what's wrong?" "He's here," Sarah sobbed. "He was outside my building. He sent me a picture. He knows where I live. Marcus, he knows where I live." There was a pause. Then Marcus's voice, cold and hard. "Lock your door. Don't open it for anyone but us. We're coming back." "Okay," Sarah whispered. "Please hurry." 10 minutes, Marcus said. "We're 10 minutes away." The line went dead. Sarah pulled Emma close, held her tight, and watched the door, and prayed that 10 minutes wouldn't be too long. Hit that subscribe button right now, please, because what happens when the bikers come back, it changes everything. And you need to see this. Comment below if you've ever felt scared and alone like Sarah. You're not alone. None of us are. Keep watching. Those 10 minutes felt like 10 hours. Sarah sat on the floor with her back against the wall, Emma in her lap, phone clutched in her hand. Every sound made her jump. The building settling, someone walking in the hallway, a car passing outside. Each one could be him, coming back, coming up the stairs, coming for her. Emma was confused now. "Mommy, why are we sitting on the floor? Can we eat dinner?" "In a minute, baby," Sarah whispered. Her voice didn't sound like her own. "Just stay here with Mommy for a minute, okay?" "Are you sad?" Sarah looked down at her daughter. Those big brown eyes. So innocent, so trusting. Emma didn't know, didn't understand. And Sarah was going to keep it that way for as long as she possibly could. "I'm okay," Sarah lied. "Just tired." Emma leaned her head against Sarah's chest. "Me too." Sarah heard motorcycles, multiple motorcycles, getting louder, getting closer. She scrambled to her feet, still holding Emma, and ran to the window. 6 motorcycles pulled up in front of the building. No, wait, more than 6. There were at least 10 now, maybe 12. Where did they all come from? Marcus got off his bike first, then Diane, then Bear, Tommy, and faces Sarah didn't recognize. They weren't just coming back to check on her. They were coming back like an army. Sarah's phone rang. "Marcus." "Open your door," he said. "We're coming up." Sarah unlocked the door with shaking hands, took the chain off, waited. Heavy footsteps on the stairs. Then Marcus was there, with Diane right behind him, and 3 other bikers Sarah had never seen before. Marcus's face was like stone. "Show me the text." Sarah handed him her phone, watched his face get harder and colder as he read it, as he looked at the picture. "Son of a bitch," he muttered. Then he looked at Diane. "He was here 20 minutes ago. We were still here 20 minutes ago." "He waited for us to leave," Diane said quietly. One of the new bikers, a huge man with a shaved head and a scar across his cheek, stepped forward. "We need to move her, tonight." "Move me?" Sarah asked. "Move me where?" Marcus looked at her. "Somewhere safe. The clubhouse. You and Emma both. Just for tonight, until we figure this out." "The clubhouse?" Sarah's mind was racing. "What's the clubhouse?" "It's where we meet, where we live, some of us. It's got good security, cameras, always people there. He can't get to you there." Sarah looked around her apartment, at Emma's drawings on the fridge, at the stuffed animals on the couch, at their life. "I can't just leave. I have work tomorrow. Emma has school." "Sarah," Diane's voice was gentle but firm. "That man knows where you live. He's watching you. The police can't protect you. Let US protect you." "You don't even know me," Sarah said, and she hated how her voice broke. "Why are you doing this?" The big biker with the scar spoke. His voice was surprisingly soft. "My sister got stalked 8 years ago by her ex-boyfriend. She called the cops 17 times. 17. They told her the same thing they told you. Not enough evidence. Can't do anything. Need a credible threat. He paused. His jaw was tight. He killed her on the 18th time. Shot her in her driveway while she was getting groceries out of her car. Sarah felt like all the air had been sucked out of the room. We don't let that happen again, the big biker continued. Not if we can stop it. So yeah, we don't know you, but we know what can happen if nobody helps, and we're not gonna let it happen to you. Emma tugged on Sarah's shirt. Mommy, who are all these people? Sarah knelt down to Emma's level. These are friends, baby. Remember? The ones with the motorcycles. They want us to go stay somewhere else tonight, like a sleepover. A sleepover? Emma's eyes got big. With the motorcycles? Despite everything, Sarah almost smiled. Yeah, with the motorcycles. Can I bring my dinosaurs? All of them. 20 minutes later, Sarah was packing a bag. Clothes for her and Emma. Toothbrushes. Emma's favorite stuffed animal. A purple dragon named Spike. Emma's dinosaurs. Some of Emma's books. The basics. Her hands were still shaking so bad that Diane had to help her zip the bag. What about work? Sarah asked. I can't just not show up. Call your boss, Marcus said. Tell him you're sick. Tell him whatever you need to tell him. But you're not going back there tomorrow. Not until we know you're safe. I'll lose my job. You'll lose more than that if that creep gets his hands on you, Marcus said bluntly. Then his face softened. Sorry, but it's true. Sarah called Mr. Murphy, told him she had the flu, that she'd be out for a few days. He sounded annoyed but said okay. Sarah felt guilty for lying, but what was she supposed to say? Sorry, I'm being stalked and have to go into hiding with a biker gang? While Sarah packed, two of the bikers Sarah didn't know were doing something to her door, installing something. Deadbolt, Bear explained, seeing her watching. And we're putting a camera up too. Small one, you won't even notice it. Connects to an app on your phone. You'll be able to see your door from anywhere. How much does that cost? Sarah asked weakly. Bear just smiled. Don't worry about it. I can't afford. Nobody's asking you to pay, honey, Diane said. This is what we do. This is what the club is FOR. Sarah wanted to argue, wanted to refuse, but she was too tired and too scared to fight anymore. She just nodded. 10 minutes after that, Sarah and Emma were back on Diane's motorcycle. The bag was strapped to Bear's bike, and they were riding through Millbrook with an escort of 12 motorcycles, 6 in front and 6 in back, engines roaring loud enough to wake the whole town. People came to their windows, stepped out onto porches, stared. Let them stare, Sarah thought again. These people were saving her life. The clubhouse was on the edge of town, down a long gravel road surrounded by trees. It was a big building, looked like it used to be a warehouse or something. There were more motorcycles parked outside, lights in the windows, music playing somewhere inside. Sarah felt nervous all over again. She didn't belong here. This wasn't her world. But Emma was excited, bouncing on her feet, staring at everything with wide eyes. Mommy, this place is so cool. The inside of the clubhouse was not what Sarah expected. She thought it would be dark and scary and smell like beer and cigarettes. But it was actually kind of nice. There was a big common area with couches and a TV, a kitchen off to the side, pool table in the corner, pictures on the walls of bikers at rallies, on trips, together. It looked like a home. A woman came out of the kitchen. She was older, maybe 60, with short gray hair and kind eyes. She was wearing jeans and a sweater that said Grandma's Garage on it. This is Maggie, Marcus said. She runs this place, really. Keeps us all in line. Maggie smiled. Don't listen to him. I just make sure they don't burn the place down. She looked at Sarah and Emma. You must be Sarah, and this must be Emma. Emma hid behind Sarah's leg again, suddenly shy. "It's okay, sweetheart," Maggie said, kneeling down to Emma's level. "You like cookies? I just made chocolate chip." Emma peeked out. "Chocolate chip? Fresh from the oven. What do you say?" Emma looked up at Sarah for permission. Sarah nodded, even though her stomach was still in knots, and she couldn't imagine eating anything right now. Emma followed Maggie into the kitchen. Sarah heard her daughter's voice, still nervous but excited, asking about the cookies, heard Maggie's warm laugh in response. Marcus touched Sarah's shoulder gently. "Come on, let me show you where you'll sleep." He led her down a hallway. The walls were covered with more pictures. Bikers standing next to their motorcycles, group shots at bars and diners, candid photos of people laughing, hugging, living. Marcus stopped at a door and opened it. Inside was a small bedroom. Single bed, dresser, lamp. Simple but clean. There was a window with curtains, a rug on the floor. "This is usually where prospects stay when they're first joining," Marcus explained. "Nobody's using it right now. You and Emma can take it." Sarah stepped inside, set her bag on the bed, felt tears coming again. How many times could someone cry in one day? "I don't know how to thank you," she whispered. "Don't need thanks," Marcus said. "Just need you safe." "But why?" Sarah turned to face him. "I still don't understand. You don't know me. I'm nobody. Why do you care?" Marcus was quiet for a long moment. Then he said, "You know what people think when they see us? They think we're criminals, thugs, dangerous. They cross the street, pull their kids closer, lock their car doors." He paused. "And yeah, some of us got records, some of us made mistakes, but that's not who we are. Not anymore." He gestured around the clubhouse. This is family. And family protects each other. Family looks out for people who can't look out for themselves. That's the code. That's what being in this club means." Sarah wiped her eyes. "I ran to you because I was desperate, because I had nowhere else to go." "I know," Marcus said, "and you were right to, because we don't turn our backs on people who need help, ever. That's the difference between us and those women who lock the door on you. They see someone in trouble and they hide. We see someone in trouble and we help." Sarah sat down on the bed. "The police said they'd follow up, talk to him. But you don't believe that's gonna stop him," Marcus finished. Sarah shook her head. "He's not going to stop. I can feel it. He's angry now. I embarrassed him, made him look stupid in front of you guys. He's going to come back." "Yeah," Marcus said, "he probably is." Sarah looked up sharply. Marcus's face was grim. "I'm not gonna lie to you, Sarah. This guy's escalating. First he follows you. Then he chases you. Then he shows up at your apartment and sends you pictures. That's not someone who's gonna just give up because the cops talk to him." "So what do I do?" Sarah asked. Her voice sounded so small, so helpless. She hated it. "You stay here until we figure it out," Marcus said. "And we make sure he knows that if he comes near you again, he's dealing with all of us." There was a knock on the doorframe. Diane was standing there with a phone in her hand. Cops ran the plate, got a name and address. Marcus stepped into the hallway. Sarah followed. "Name's Derek Vaughn," Diane said, reading from her phone. 31 years old. Lives over in Riverside, about 20 miles from here. Got a record. 2 domestic violence charges, both dropped when the girlfriends refused to testify. 1 stalking charge from 4 years ago, also dropped. Sarah felt sick. "He's done this before." "Multiple times," Diane confirmed. "Brennan said they're going to send someone to talk to him tomorrow. Give him a warning." "A warning," Sarah repeated bitterly. "That's it? That's all they can do," Marcus said. "But we can do more." "Like what?" Sarah asked. Marcus and Diane exchanged a look, a long look, like they were having a conversation without words. "Marcus," Diane said slowly, We gotta be careful. Can't do anything that's gonna... I know, Marcus said. I know. But we also can't just sit here and hope he goes away. What are you talking about? Sarah asked. She didn't like the way they were looking at each other. Didn't like the tension in the air. Marcus turned to her. We're gonna make sure Derek Vaughn understands that you're under our protection. That if he comes near you, there are consequences. How are you going to do that? Better if you don't know the details, Marcus said. Sarah's heart was pounding. You're not going to. You can't. We're not gonna hurt him, Diane said quickly. Not unless he makes us. But we are gonna make sure he knows we're watching. That we're serious. That you're not alone anymore. Sarah didn't know how to feel about that. Part of her was relieved, grateful. These people were going further to protect her than anyone else ever had. But another part of her was scared. What if they did hurt him? What if they got in trouble because of her? What if she was putting them in danger now? I don't want anyone getting hurt because of me, Sarah said. Too late, Bear said, walking up behind Diane. We're already involved, and we take care of our own. But I'm not one of your own, Sarah protested. I just met you today. Bear smiled. It changed his whole face, made him look younger and kinder. You ran to us for help. That makes you one of our own. That's how it works. From the kitchen, Sarah heard Emma laughing. Actually, lawing. Like nothing bad had happened today. Like the world was safe and good and normal. Sarah wanted that for her daughter. Wanted Emma to always feel safe, always feel protected, always feel loved. And these people, these bikers that society had written off as dangerous and bad, were giving that to both of them. Thank you, Sarah said again. It felt inadequate, not enough, but it was all she had. Marcus nodded. Get some rest. Tomorrow we'll figure out next steps. But tonight, you're safe. I promise you that. Sarah went back into the room, unpacked a few things, changed into pajamas. The bed was more comfortable than she expected. The sheets smelled like laundry detergent. Emma came running in 15 minutes later, chocolate on her face, carrying a plate with more cookies. Mommy, look! Maggie gave me 5 cookies, and she has a cat. His name is Harley, and he has one eye. Can we get a cat? Sarah pulled Emma into a hug. Maybe someday, baby. They ate cookies together. Sarah managed to eat one even though her stomach was still twisted in knots. Emma talked about the cat and the motorcycles and how Bear let her sit on HIS motorcycle and pretend to ride it. When Emma finally fell asleep, curled up next to Sarah in the small bed, clutching Spike the dragon and the rubber T-Rex, Sarah laid there staring at the ceiling. Her phone was on the dresser. The camera app was installed. She could see her apartment door on the screen. Everything looked normal, quiet, empty. But Derek Vaughn was out there somewhere, angry, planning, waiting. Sarah thought about what Marcus said, about Derek escalating, about him not stopping. She thought about the big biker's sister. 17 calls to the police, shot in her driveway. Sarah held Emma tighter. There was a soft knock on the door. Yeah? Sarah called quietly, trying not to wake Emma. The door opened a crack. It was Maggie. Just checking on you, honey. You need anything? No, I'm okay. Thank you. Maggie stepped inside. She had kind eyes, the kind that had seen a lot but still had hope left. I know this is scary. I know you probably feel like your whole world got turned upside down. Sarah nodded, not trusting her voice. But you did the right thing, Maggie continued. Running to us, letting us help. Some people, they're too proud or too scared. They try to handle it alone, and that's when bad things happen. I was just terrified, Sarah whispered. I wasn't thinking. I just saw them and I ran. Sometimes not thinking is exactly right, Maggie said. Sometimes you gotta trust your gut, and your gut told you we were safe. It was right. Everyone else thinks you're dangerous." Maggie smiled. "Let them think what they want. We know who we are. That's all that matters." She started to leave, then paused. "Sarah, that man who's after you, he made a big mistake today." "What mistake?" Maggie's smile got harder, colder. "He went after someone under our protection, and we don't forget, and we don't forgive, and we definitely don't let it slide." Then she left, closing the door softly behind her. Sarah laid there in the dark, listening to Emma breathe, listening to the sounds of the clubhouse around her, voices talking, someone laughing, music playing low, motorcycles starting up outside as some of the bikers left. She pulled out her phone one more time, looked at the camera feed of her apartment door, and her heart stopped. There was someone standing at her door, a figure in the shadows, trying the doorknob. When it didn't open, the figure pulled out something, a phone, taking a picture of the new deadbolt. The figure looked up at the camera. It was Derek Vaughn. He smiled at the camera, that same terrible smile from before. Then he held up his phone and took a picture of the camera. Then he left. Sarah's hands were shaking so bad, she almost dropped the phone. She grabbed it tight and ran out of the room, careful not to wake Emma. Marcus was in the common area with Diane and Tommy. They looked up when they saw her face. "He's at my apartment," Sarah gasped. "Right now. I saw him on the camera. He tried my door. He knows about the camera. He smiled at it." Marcus's face went stone cold. He grabbed his phone and started typing fast. "Tommy, get everyone who's still here. Bear, you and Snake go to Sarah's apartment now. Don't engage unless he's still there. Just watch." Two bikers Sarah hadn't officially met jumped up and ran for the door. Motorcycles started up immediately. "Diane, call Brennan. Tell him we got Vaughn on camera at Sarah's apartment right now, trying to break in." Diane was already dialing. Marcus turned to Sarah. "Show me." Sarah pulled up the camera app with shaking hands, rewound the footage, showed Marcus everything. The figure approaching, trying the door, taking pictures. Marcus's jaw was so tight, Sarah thought it might break. "He's not backing off, he's pushing." "What does that mean?" Sarah asked, even though part of her already knew. Marcus looked at her, really looked at her. "It means this ends one of two ways. Either he stops, or we make him stop. Sarah's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. The same number as before. She didn't want to open it, didn't want to see, but she had to know. The text said, "Nice lock, won't keep me out. Neither will your biker friends. You're mine, always were. See you real soon, Sarah." And attached was a picture of the deadbolt on Sarah's door, taken 2 minutes ago. And another picture of Emma's school, Lincoln Elementary, where Emma would be tomorrow morning. If Sarah let her go, Sarah's legs gave out for the 3rd time that day. Marcus caught her before she hit the floor. "He knows where Emma goes to school," Sarah sobbed. "He knows. He's going to—" "No," Marcus said, his voice like iron. "No, he's not. Because Emma's not going to school tomorrow. She's staying here, with you, where we can protect you both." "For how long?" Sarah asked desperately. "How long can we hide? How long before he—" "As long as it takes," Marcus said. "As long as it takes." Sarah buried her face in her hands and cried. Not quiet tears this time. Big, gasping sobs that hurt her chest and made her whole body shake. Diane knelt down next to her, put her arm around Sarah's shoulders. "We've got you, honey. I promise. We've got you." But Sarah could hear it in Diane's voice. The worry, the fear, the knowledge that Derek Vaughn wasn't going to stop, that this was going to get worse before it got better. If it got better at all. The clubhouse door burst open. Bear and Snake ran in, breathing hard. "He's gone," Bear said. "Car's gone. Apartment's clear. But Marcus," he held up his phone. "He left something." And Marcus took the phone, looked at the screen. His face went white. "What?" Sarah asked. "What is it?" Marcus didn't answer. He just turned the phone so Sarah could see. It was a picture taped to Sarah's apartment door. A picture of Sarah and Emma from earlier today, walking to Mrs. Chin's house, before everything happened. Before Derek started following her, which meant he'd been watching her for longer than just today. Maybe days, maybe weeks. And written across the picture in red marker were 4 words. Soon. Very, very soon. Sarah looked at Marcus, at Diane, at all the bikers gathering in the common area, their faces hard and angry and ready. "What do we do?" she whispered. Marcus's voice was quiet but absolute. "We go to war. This is not over. Not even close. Subscribe right now if you want to see what happens next, because the bikers are about to do something nobody expects. Something that will change Sarah's life forever. And you need to be here for it. Comment below and tell me, would you run to the bikers? Have you ever had to choose between scary and dangerous? Drop a like if this story is hitting you hard. Because part 4, it's gonna blow your mind. Stay with us. Sarah needs you, and so do I. Comment part 2 below.